the Build Back Better Act, it seems like the Democrats are going to agree to pass this, and they're doing this despite it leaving out some of the stuff that were in it originally. This was not good legislation to begin with. We should stop pretending like they'll listen to us when we demand revisions. Any revisions that they make will still be a corporate giveaway until we understand that the root problem is with who writes these bills. You know, we've talked about this on the show with Shadow Band. Like, who writes these bills? It's You're kidding yourself if you think that it's legislators like Bernie Sanders and Congress people like AOC or even like Sinema and Manchin. The people who write these bills are the lobbyists. Everything else is just theater based off of what these politicians' donors want from the people who they're paying, right? And we should always question what the media is focusing on, and in this case, they're focusing on Sinema and Manchin. Why are they mainly focusing on these people as if they're entirely to blame for what gets decided on these bills? I mean, there's many layers to this, and there's only this focus on this whole thing. So let me just show you guys this, and then we'll go into depth with this a little bit more. Democrats abandon paid family leave from Biden economic plan. Is this any surprise? Senator Kyrsten Gillibrand, a New York Democrat, was working to broker compromise with Manchin, a moderate from West Virginia, who said he didn't want to create a new entitlement program. She said she would continue to fight to include paid leave in the tax and spending proposals with as much as $2 trillion in new spending and social and climate programs. Like, why is this the focus of everything else that's going on with this bill? How this is a corporate giveaway. And look at this. Democrats drop Medicare and dental and vision coverage from their social spending bill. Voters say it's their top priority. I mean, look at this. This is what their top priority was, but they're leaving that out. So joining me to discuss this issue is Shadow Ban refugee Polly and Marcus Cage. What's going on, guys? How are you?
What's up, everybody?
How's it going?
It's going pretty well. Oh, Marcus, you went.
Sorry, I was
One
on
second.
mute.
Let
My
me
bad.
adjust the audio here so you
I'm
guys
doing
can...
all right. Yeah, Chris just tried to message me real quick. So I guess maybe send him the link again or something. He might be having trouble with the link. But yeah, I'm doing
There
good,
we
brother. How
go.
you doing, Polly?
What up, my brother? It's good to see you, as always.
Oh
Pleasure
yeah.
to be
Oh,
on with you.
Awesome. Yeah, I couldn't hear you guys for a second, but I can hear you guys now. So
I guess he said, could you send a link to him one more time, Chris?
Oh, to Chris? Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I guess he's having trouble. Yeah.
All right. Are you able to send it to? Are you able to send it to him, or I can?
Yeah,
What's
I
the
can. I
story?
just have to pop out for a second, but yeah, I can send it to him.
Okay.
Yeah, go on ahead. I'll be right back.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. So, Polly, yeah, what are your thoughts on this? How the focus? Why do you think the focus being put so much on these senators here, and not enough on what's in this bill and how it was a corporate giveaway to begin with?
Well, first off, thanks for having me on.
Yeah.
But it's twofold, right? The whole fucking Kyrsten Sinema and Joe Manchin shit, like, that is such a crock of shit, dude. Like, there's pork that's put in there for fucking certain senators, right? But they also get to be the whipping boy, right? And like, I know for a fact that some of these fucking people have pork in the infrastructure package, but like, I haven't really got too far into the Build Better Act. I'm working on some other legislation right now. But like, it's always put on them as if they're the big bad guys, right? But it's all like a big show so that they can roll out this big package, right? And they can say, we have this, and this, and this, and it's all the stuff that you want, right? And then they shave that shit out of the bill, and they keep the shit that you don't want in the bill, the shit that they never talk that's in the fucking bill, right? I mean, it's pretty fucking easy to fucking find the shit you don't want, right? And like I've went through some of that on your show before, but like it's fucking ridiculous how these fucking people like would love to blame Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema, but it's all theater, right? There's pork in that bill for them. There always is. There's pork in it for every fucking senator and for every like representative, right? They do backroom deals on fucking purpose, right? So like this idea that it's all their fault, get the fuck out of here. They were never going to give you that shit in the fucking first place, regardless of whether it was fucking Sinema or fucking Manchin or fucking another oligarch cuck, as someone put in the chat a minute ago, AOC. Yeah, fuck that, dude. Like, I'm tired of fucking hearing this fucking theater, man. Like, Congress doesn't work for you. It doesn't matter who the fuck you fucking vote in. Congress doesn't write the legislation. And like, there's even a council of fucking former members of Congress, right? It's FMC. And that's something that me and like Sebs and fucking Ali and Jack have been really into lately, is watching what those fucking people do, right? And that's where the revolving door truly comes in, because a lot of legislation comes out of FMC, right? So it's all fucking theater, and everyone's falling for it as usual because it's drama, right? It's sexy. Like the drama aspect of it is like, if that's what you're into, go watch Jersey Shore. Get the fuck out of the way.
It's reality TV, right? You brought up that analogy there. Of it's like it's TV drama.
Yeah.
So. Like, if right from the start, it's a corporate giveaway. And we've talked about that with you on the show when you broke down Build Back Better Act in detail. And that's just not even like, that's just the beginning of it, because this is thousands of pages. We talked about this.
I went through the Invest in America Act. That's the infrastructure package,
Act,
which is coupled with, but like, there's a lot of shit in Build Back Better that actually builds on the stuff that's in the infrastructure package. So, I mean, like, it's a partnered bill, right?
And then we also talked about Build Back Better even further with Ali Alexandra, and when we had Ali Alexandra and Seb Solomon on together, we talked about how the HR 1976 Medicare for All Act by the 117th Congress uses a value-based healthcare system, and that benefits private institutions and stakeholder capitalism. So they know the bar is set so low, but we should also not support any legislation written by lobbyists, which is pretty much all legislation. So that's something we should be careful of when we go out there with these direct action events, is what are you asking for? You're asking for more support for these bills that are introduced that are written by these lobbyists. So Marcus, what are your thoughts on all this?
Well, since my brother Polly, he likes to do the deep dive and the technical stuff, and I love him for that. I'm going to go a little bit simple for everybody. What they like to do is, because think about it. Remember what Biden said during the primaries. He told everybody nothing is fundamentally going to change.
Yeah.
What I've always been taught is when somebody tells you who they are, believe them. When they say, oh, well, Manchin, he might vote for this or might vote for that, or he said before, yeah, I mean, even if you guys do all this, I still might not vote for the bill. Listen to these people when they tell you this stuff. They're not hiding the ball. It's just we're so optimistic that we want to hope that it's not as bad as it really seems. But what it is it really is far worse than we really imagine. This time it might be Sinema. This time it might be Manchin. And then you get them out. I mean, even though I'm not a fan of this person, they did make a good point. They said before them, we had to deal with Heidi Heitkamp, who was doing this a lot of times. We had to deal with Claire McCaskill. We had to deal with there's always been somebody before, which they tap on the shoulder and they say, it's your turn to go and throw a monkey wrench in it. And if you think about it, Joe Biden ran saying, well, I don't really have any real priorities but saving the soul of America. And then what he does is he says, well, okay, I'll go for the college, the college part, for what was it, community colleges. And then as soon as that gets stripped away, no fight, no arguments, no statements, because he doesn't care. He had to throw out something that sounded good so that the people who support him can come out there and have a reason to be able to say, oh, well, see, he's going to do this. He doesn't want any of that shit. This guy is the same guy who said, I wanted to prostitute myself, and they told me to come back when I was older. Well, guess what? He's older. I mean, besides Mayor Pete, how many billionaires were funding this campaign? I mean, this stuff should not be hard for most of the people out there to figure out. I mean, and I'll say this one thing: what the progressives, and I'm saying the progressives on the ground or leftists in general, what they have to understand is they have to stop speaking like spoiled kids who actually have control. They're like, well, once we just get rid of the capitalists, and then once we just do this, and once you don't have any fucking power. You have none. You have zero fucking power. You are an ant right now. And the whole movements are ants. And everybody's talking like they have actual power to change any of this shit. You don't. The only real power you have is to start understanding what the hell is actually going on and start making people aware. As people get aware, they will get aggravated. Just like, it says biblically, what is it? Oppression makes a wise man mad. As you get wiser, you will start to get mad.
Yeah. People don't even know what they're up against right now.
Have no clue.
They don't have absolutely no idea. If they're getting mad now about the revisions with Manchin and Sinema, that's barely even scratching the tip of the iceberg. Like, the tip of the iceberg is already something, but they're barely even scratching that.
Well, Franco, what they don't get is they're spending all their energy worried about Kyrsten Sinema. They're worried about AOC. They're worried about Biden. These aren't the people who are running or doing anything. These are just show clowns who are in the way. This is what I call, I hearken them to the Harlem Globetrotters and the Washington Generals. This is just a show. We already know who's going to win the game. And what we notice is it doesn't matter which president. Everything has been going a certain direction, no matter who's been in office, no matter which politicians, because this is about the corporations and overall what the predatory class wants.
Yeah, we gotta focus on who's crafting these legislations and what their agendas are and what else they're trying to what else they're trying to do, like what we're going to get into later with the metaverse stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That is a Trojan horse for more surveillance, which we'll get into in a little bit. But there's all this stuff in this legislation that's more Trojan horses for more control over the people.
There you go.
So I wanted to show I wanted to show this video here just because there's some people that still believe in these progressives, quote unquote progressives, and take a look at the caucus members, right? These progressive caucus members that are supposed to be fighting for us. The chair of that is Pramila Jayapal, Deputy Chair Katie Porter. We have the whip here, Ilhan Omar, and then I remember this guy Mark Pocan, who was making excuses for why we can't get a single payer system. Not even the Medicare for all system that we have now, which is also like a Trojan horse for more control over the people and a value-based healthcare system. But we just need to know that these people are all gaslighters. As you see here in this video and in this tweet here first, Pramila Jayapal rallying people to get behind this legislation that's crafted pretty much by the World Economic Forum and all those billionaires. It's time to make critical investments into childcare, universal pre-K, climate action, healthcare, affordable housing, home care, a pathway to citizenship, and so much more. This is all gaslighting. They'll give you some of these, they'll try to give you some of these things as crumbs, if anything, but then they'll shave away at this. And then they'll pass it and it's like, well, it's better than nothing. So here is Kyrsten Gillibrand saying both the Build Back Better Act with childcare, pre-K housing, climate action and more. And the infrastructure bill, which I discussed with Polly, shadow ban refugee, are part of the president's agenda. We will pass both together as if this is something that we really need to fight for. So take a listen to what she says here, and then I'll get your thoughts.
In this right now, I want to understand exactly where you and the Progressive Caucus are as we sit here this Tuesday morning.
Yeah, John, it's great to be with you in person. We are in the same place that we have been for weeks, which is we said, give us the text of the Build Back Better Act, give us a vote on the Build Back Better Act and the bipartisan infrastructure bill, and we will pass both through the House and send them over to the Senate. Obviously, the bipartisan infrastructure bill has already passed the Senate, but we will send the Build Back Better Act over to the Senate. Now, some of our members are nervous, obviously, about what the Senate is going to do, but at this point, we feel that having had conversations with Senator Sinema, having talked to the president, having had the president come, that we will trust the president in the Senate for it.
I guess the part I don't understand is why you trust him today on Tuesday, but you didn't on Thursday.
Because we didn't have a bill and we didn't have a vote. We were not ready to have a vote on the Build Back Better Act. This week, we will have votes on both the infrastructure bill and the Build Back Better Act together, which is what we've called for weeks. So we finally got what we've been saying, and we're glad that people listened to us.
He was saying trust me on Thursday, though.
But we didn't have the bill. And he did not ask for us to vote on that day. He said, I need votes on both bills. And we have been saying for months, we are not going to vote just on an idea or a promise or a framework. We're going to vote on legislation. The minute we have legislation, we can look at it. Our members can decide whether it is good enough, which we feel very good about. Then we will pass both bills. And I think that is what we've been saying for weeks. I don't understand why anyone's confused about it. Last week, we did not have a vote on the Build Back Better Act. We did not have text. This week, we have text. We're going to have a vote on both bills.
Because there's an interpretation.
All right, so she's saying some words there that I know Shadowban really likes. She keeps saying legislation. We need to vote on the legislation. Can you tell us how much Jayapal actually cares about the legislation, the content in the legislation?
Okay, first the fuck off. They had the fucking text of the bill. The text of the bill fucking dropped the last week of September. I know because I follow where the fucking legislation is. And I didn't know it was there. And one day it just fucking dropped on our fucking heads. I fucking found it. And I'm like, oh shit, the fucking text of the fucking Build Back Better Act is out. So they've had it since the end of fucking September. So this whole fucking thing that she's saying, well, we didn't have the text of the bill. Shut the fuck up. You had the fucking text of the bill. Why the fuck are you lying? Right? So that's one. And two, the buzzword of the bipartisan infrastructure bill.
Yeah.
The bipartisan infrastructure bill. Go fuck yourself with your bipartisan infrastructure bill. Nobody's fucking interested in how bipartisan it is. People want to know what the fuck is in it. And they never fucking tell you what is in these fucking bills. They're like, oh, now we have the text. Now we can vote. And it passed. The text was dropped the week before the vote on the fucking infrastructure package and the fucking reconciliation bill, which is what funds the Build Back Better Act, right? So they had the fucking text. She's just straight lying right there. And that fucking pisses me off because if I know it, she damn well fucking knows it.
Mm-hmm.
So just some in like 30 seconds, what can you tell us like that's in the infrastructure bill? Like some of the most
Pipelines. That got fucking surveillance tech up the fucking wazoo. They're saying, oh yeah, we're going to bring broadband internet to everyone. But really what they're fucking doing is they're going to surveil you with fucking an Internet of Things fucking technology that's called CV2X, right? Cellular vehicle to everything. There's plenty of shit in there for fucking Manchin. Like there's the Appalachian fucking Energy Initiative, I think is what it's called. But it's reproducing fucking methane. It's a methane refining process that uses the steam off of it to fucking create hydrogen and Like, that's toxic as fuck. Like,
Giveaways for big green corporations and even natural gas corporations.
well, and that's just the thing, is that, like, if all these pipelines lead to Gulfport, Mississippi, which means they're fucking exporting it. It's not for here, right? So they're gonna fucking frack the shit out of the United States, send it all on pipelines to Gulfport. They're gonna export the natural gas to Europe and give them tax incentives because it's a green technology natural gas. They're going to send the sour crude to fucking Africa and then tax the motherfuck out of Africa to fucking for them because they're burning this filthy fucking crude or whatever the fuck. So no. The fucking infrastructure bill is a fucking it's the bones of the fucking of your prison, and then the meat of your prison is in the Build Back Better Act. These people are fucking lying. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
What do you got to say, Marcus?
I wanted to add on a little bit to what Polly said. There is a lot of pork in there, and that pork going to Manchin is a lot of times senators will get pork to just come to their state in general for certain corporations. This is literally pork. This is going to Manchin's coal mines directly. This is like a flat out payoff. And it's not even like a payoff to something that would be positive or whatever. This is just giving this man money. Now, if you guys say that he is the big obstructor, he is the big problem in all these things, and so you're paying him to pollute more, that's the first part. And then I'll get into the surveillance side of it. All of the surveillance stuff they're doing, it is about data collection. And that's going to, dovetail into some of the stuff that we're going to talk about later. But a big part of that is you got to set all of these. It's like we're looking at somebody opening up like one of those IKEA kits where you're making a desk, and there's 1,000 different, there's shelves here, there's bolts here, there's nuts, there's glue, there's all this stuff here, and all we're seeing a little portion here that they're putting in place, and then it's obscured. And then over here, we're seeing another part, but we're not seeing how they're building this whole framework up and how they're breaking it apart piece by piece by piece and doing it differently. So they'll get somebody like Polly, since he's sharp on the crude and on the oil and on the energy side, he'll see all of those things. And so they're hoping that, well, maybe he might see this, but he's not going to see the data collection part, which somebody who might be into the tech stuff, they're going to see that side. Then the other part will be, we'll give out, we'll leave hearing aids in there, but we're going to take away all the other medical. We're going to take away the dental, the vision, all of these other things, which can lead to more expensive medical costs and procedures. And so it's all of these little pieces which they're excluding out of this, and then they're adding in a ton of money basically to law enforcement. So, there's so much crap which they're doing in there, and they're doing it in pieces. And then this is the reason why CNN and MSNBC only want to talk about the cost of the bill. Oh, it's 3.5 versus a 2 point this, and now it's a 1.7. And that's the reason why they only want to talk about numbers and CBO scores. Yeah. And then the progressives, I don't know if this is genuine. The pessimistic side of me believes that this is not genuine, but people like Ryan Grimm have rolled out, they're worried about, they want to get a win so that Biden won't have to, so the progressives won't be blamed. And so now this is the whole pull on your heartstrings, poor, pitiful, AOC in the squad and Cori Bush. Oh, you gotta feel sorry for them because they're going to be blamed. So they had to, just give up and lay down and not fight for anything. But what it is they've all, like, for instance, Ilhan Omar, if you look at her first, when she first got in there, her first year, she was pushing against a lot of things. Now she's not. Have you noticed that now she's the whip? That's a very lucrative and powerful position. What they're doing is they're putting them in places and buying them off. And I guarantee you, if AOC does not run for Senate next time around, she's running for something else much higher, if not in line to try to take over after Pelosi moves out of the way. So, and Jayapal, how they're, the biggest thing which bothered me the most is one word which they said in there: trust.
Yeah.
You guys are trusting Biden. Biden used that same keyword back with the whole Iraq war and Afghanistan stuff when Bush. Well, I trusted him, and I couldn't see that he was going to do this. And so that way they can say, oh, well, we were just trying to fight for the initiative and we didn't see what was going to happen. So when later on, a lot of these Johnny come latelys like Fred Hampton's leftists and a lot of these people, once they start figuring out, oh, shit, we've been screwed over, just like the Emma Biglands and all that, they know what the hell is going on. When they do that, then they can come back and tell their listeners, well, we didn't see all this coming. I mean, we trusted. We really thought that it's all bullshit. The independent media, what people got to understand is a good chunk of them are, if not in the tank and already been bought off and grifted, I mean, bought off to a certain extent, a good chunk of them are flat out grifting, period. This is a money-making hustle for a lot of them.
Yeah. Or they don't know enough of what's in this legislation, which is, it's I don't know what else to call it, but it's laziness. At least have somebody on the show who will tell you what's in it. I understand there's a lot of lingo there that it's really hard to understand. Like you were mentioning, Marcus, Paulie is going to understand a lot of the pipeline lingo, but he may not understand all of the I don't know, the blockchain lingo that's in there, or maybe you do. I don't know, Paulie. But somebody like a Jack Sid probably does.
A lot of it, but for the most part, I draw on on Seb's knowledge for all of that data collection, and Jack the way that the technicals on the way that they do it, and then Allie's got like an eagle eye for a whole lot of crazy shit. So like we all work together pretty well on trying to find what they're actually doing here. So.
Well, that's the thing. They count on us not to be expertise in certain fields and start putting our knowledge together to see what the hell's going on. Like on this defense stuff and a lot of that money and stuff, that's one of my expertises in seeing that. And so when I get with Paulie and I get with Jack and I get with Sebs and Allie and all them, I'm able to put my piece into that puzzle and we're all looking at, okay, we see what the fuck's going on here. And you can't tell me some of these other platforms where they're not working full time like some of us. They literally, all they're doing is uploading content and reviewing this stuff. If they can't see this shit, it's not laziness at this point. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's willful ignorance. I have brought up in many a trolling super chats begging these people to read the legislation or at least come and look at my stream with Franco or the one with Convo Couch, right?
And this is why I was saying I feel sad. But I just want to, for some closing remarks, my bad, Marcus. I'll let you say something. I just wanted to introduce your buddy Chris here.
Oh yeah, Chris is in. Yeah. Oh sweet, got my man in here. For y'all don't know, Cy Lawson.
What's going on, everybody?
Nice to meet
what's
you,
up,
man.
guys? Franco, what's up, man? Nice to meet you. Shadow Van, what's good?
What's up, brother?
Ain't not much.
So you want to? Yeah, go ahead, Marcus, and we'll get Marcus.
Franco, don't be so sad because as long as you are waking up, that shows that we're getting somewhere. And so the more that we're able to see, trust me, Chris was ahead of me on a lot of this stuff. And it's just once I started seeing it and also some other, I feel like I got a cheat code also where I've been studying some other things that have helped me kind of be more privy to and seeing a bigger picture. And so as more of us start getting aware of this stuff, once that awareness spreads, then that's when you can start doing something.
Yeah. And I think it'll spread. I think that once I get more hip about this stuff, start talking about it more depth, like how you guys are, that'll influence other people to talk about it more. They'll understand what it is. I guess right now it's probably overwhelming. I don't know. I don't want to give excuses for other people when I don't know what's going on in their head. But Chris, yeah, what's up, man? You were listening to some of this. You want to share some of your thoughts on what we were saying?
No, I mean, you guys, you guys pretty much nailed everything. I would just say not to get discouraged. I guess once you realize that you can't save everybody, you make peace with that, right? So at this point, you know, you can look where we are. The smartest thing to do is not to try to cast the widest net possible and save everybody. Save, or not even save, but, you know, break bread with those who you should be breaking bread with. You know, the sad part comes in when we think, why won't everybody wake up? They're still asleep. I keep telling, like, look, some people are gonna wake the hell up and others want to stay asleep, just like the Matrix, right? Homeboy wanted the steak to be steak and he wanted to be popular, right?
Mm-hmm.
So some people are like that. You can't waste your time feeling sad for them, you
That's
know?
true. Yeah, it is. I guess I should leave it as it is what it is. Just accept whatever it is. But yeah, guys, for more information about what's in this infrastructure bill and what's in Build Back Better and what is the origin of Build Back Better, you guys should check out some of the interviews I did with Polly here, aka Shadowban Refugee, Seb Solomon, Ali Alexandra, and Jack Sith. And you guys should also check out the Political Matrix here with Chris and Marcus and some of their other contributors that do excellent work.